That'll be too big.
Look at the painting on the side of it. That one is Jack. Oh.
What is it?
I don't know.
Card. No, it's my kind of risky for me. I'll ask her real quick. It'll be too late.
He's used to it. Don't worry about it. It happens to him every day. Look at all the detail on the side. It's
well, she works at that one place. What? Hey.
He's about to.
What's
it
a
say?
Plymouth?
Plymouth? It's a Plymouth.
Oh, it's a Plymouth. Cool.
Move it this way.
Please don't touch the car, thank you.
That's what it says?
Huh?
Oh, it says it where?
Right over there. Please don't touch the car. Hurry up. They work at Risky's Barbecue.
Got it. Right there. Look at all that detail.
Hey, nice real quick. Cool, awesome. Okay, this is my husband, and he has a YouTube page. Hurry up real quick. I'm already ready. Like, if you're not too busy. Do you work at a dealership, or is this yours, like, personally? You own a what? Oh, he owns a tattoo shop. All right, we gotta go inside real quick. Oh, my grandma's
1941.
Is that okay? Okay, you want this? I can't be late for
Look at this right here. Hey, how you doing? This is great. Yeah. You worked hard on this one, huh? That is wonderful. You got detailed. Look at the gate right there on the side. See that little gate? That's crazy. It's right here at Jjolly's. That guy was funny. He just like, what are y'all doing? Wow, he gets it all the time. If he's gonna make a car like that, he's gonna get used to vloggers coming over and crowding, getting all the photos that they can, especially vloggers from England, which we're not, but we pretend like it sometimes. Cheerio at Jjolly's. Jjolly's. It's called Jjolly's. It's jolly to be at Jjolly's.
Make sure you pay attention to this one, okay? I'll get 1 to 2 cars, hopefully. There's pink hats. I do like drive though. Look at that. Right over there. Father with all the babies. It's like 5 babies. Tickets on sale for rodeo. called triplets.
That was called more than that.
There's
Mule Alley.
Mule.
Mule. It's known as Mule Alley. Oh, you can sit on the actual cattle and get a photo. Isn't that amazing? Red TV right over there. It's a television station and radio. I think it's radio too, but I know it's television. There's the Christmas tree. The Polar Express holiday tickets. I got a cocktail bar right there. Look at that's cattle. That's real cattle. It's a real cattle. And they have the little train that goes around. Red, those are ride the trails on a red caboose. So in Blowout, sorry, I went to English accent. In Blowout, Brian De Palma's protagonist, played by the one and only John Travolta, has to go out and capture sound. So he has this Zoom kind of mic. If you know what a Zoom is, it's a modern day mic, but this is an older mic from the 1970s because it was filmed in the 70s. I believe late 70s. I think it was released in the 80s, maybe 80s. I could be wrong, but it looks like the late 70s. But anyway, it was Brian De Palma, and he filmed it 80s, 70s, somewhere between the 70s and 80s. Probably, I want to say maybe 1980. I don't really know. I'm sorry, I should know. But John Travolta has this boom mic, but it's like it can zoom in on sound. So it can pinpoint sound. Very similar to Francis Ford Coppola's The Conversation. If you've ever seen The Conversation by Francis Ford Coppola with Gene Hackman. They have a pinpoint mic that can zoom in right on sound and record a conversation from like that hotel to where I'm sitting, even in my car. They still have them today. Now, John Travolta used, John Travolta as character in Blowout used it for cinema and to capture sound for movies and horror films. On the other side of that, Francis Ford Coppola's protagonist, played by Gene Hackman, used the microphone for espionage or for spying. Really what it was used for was he was like he was paid to be a private investigator kind of thing, and he comes upon a possible murder. Same thing with John Travolta's character in Blowout, only he was capturing it for horror films. Gene Hackman's character in Conversation was more of a private detective kind of thing. More like, let's say kind of like that. I would say an underground private investigator. They're both very good movies. Here's the difference between the two. The difference between the two is The Conversation by Francis Ford Coppola made my top 11 list of all-time great films. Blowout made honorable mention. There's some reasons for that. It has to do with soundtrack. There's an actor called Gayton. Oh, The Color Purple, March 1st through 19th. Twas the night before Christmas also. Gayton Matarazzo. Forget my pronunciation. Matarazzo. Hang on, I'm gonna look it up. Gayton Matarazzo. He's in Stranger Things. He's kind of the weird kid. He has a very distinct way of speaking. He goes, makes that noise. Okay, he's a theater actor. He started when he was very young. He'd be great for Adair Martin, I was thinking. Although I would like to return to the original cast, Daniel Lunt and Natalie Jones, but they were mostly there for screen test on the original attempt, you know, because you look at P.T. Anderson, he tried to make a version of Boogie Nights and wasn't able to do it. But he did. He made something, and then he moved on and then made Boogie Nights later on. The Projectionist, which is not anything like that. It's not like Boogie Nights, but The Projectionist, which is about a young projectionist that has an older brother that's a movie star in Hollywood. And the projectionist is actually from Texas. And he's younger, and he goes on an adventure to become like a movie star. And he leaves his job behind him and goes off, you know, to Hollywood and runs across a crazy state trooper. And that's like in the middle of like having a breakdown, and ends up, the state trooper ends up throwing his badge away. And he also throws away his handcuffs as well as a sidearm, and quits that life. And like he like basically goes crazy in front of him. And he takes the handcuffs in it, and he goes off to Hollywood, and he meets up with his brother, kind of like a Ryan Gosling character named Aiden Harris. And he meets up with his brother. His brother shows him around Hollywood. And lo and behold, he runs into a woman named Allie Starlings, who is this very attractive young lady that likes to experiment with methamphetamines. Well, they all have this little party one night, and he falls in love with Allie, and he becomes obsessed with her. The movie starts with him in the back of an LAPD car covered in mud, and he's been spying on Allie. That's how the movie begins. And regardless, he goes to jail for stalking, and instead of throwing him, you know, giving him time, they allow him to go to a therapy group for community service because it's a first-time offense. So he goes to this therapy group, and there's all these people obsessed with movie stars there. One of them's obsessed with Harrison Ford. Her name is Harrison Staples. She's this Asian lady that's a mute. Well, anyway, he falls in love with her, and they elope Hollywood. They leave Hollywood behind them, and they elope to Vegas to get married, and they start a new life. Well, lo and behold, he goes to Dallas, Texas, to be a projectionist again, because he knows the trade. This is back when 35mm was still running, so probably AKA 90s. So he starts becoming a projectionist in Dallas, and there's Allie Starlings touring with her movie when no one is looking, and there's Aiden Harris is behind some of it. He gets obsessed with her again, and he goes after her. It ends with the SWAT kind of thing. But I used some of the music from Drive soundtrack, like chromatics and things like that. And it's you know, it's a screenplay. I think the screenplay's in good form. I think it's in pretty good form. I've had some people in the industry look at it, and they've even liked it because soundtrack use and stuff like that. But it's all there. And, you know, Allie Starlings has a manager. She ends up having to use her big toe to get the cell phone out of this luggage because she's handcuffed to the bed by Adair Martin. It's a pretty good little script, but we attempted it, and since it travels from Fort Worth, Texas, all the way to LA, Hollywood, and then all the way to Vegas, and then all the way to Dallas. And it's like, I thought I could probably do it if I used, like, you know, these phones and stuff. But it turned out to be a bigger project than I would think. And then I ended up just thinking, okay, I'll just wait for funding. But I had some ideas, and one of them is Gayton, who would be good for Adair Martin. And then another idea would be maybe Ryan Gosling, since it's kind of an homage a little bit to Drive in a way, because there's obsession in Drive, but it's a weird type of obsession, more bound in love. This one's more bound in fantasy and what they call when you're obsessed and it's only like a thrill, I forgot the name of it. It's when you're thrilled with somebody. You're infatuated. It's about it. It's revolves around infatuation, obsession with infatuation and fantasy. Look at this star right here. Anyway, I gotta go to Apple and talk to them about voiceover. It's over. This is what, Potter Barn, then Flower Child, and then Starbucks is right there, and then Apple. But anyway, I thought it would be a good idea, and I was gonna roll with it. And it was probably like 2020, about 4 years ago. I finalized a script with Daniel Lunt, who I bounced ideas off of when I was first thinking of it. I originally came up with the projectionist on my own here in Fort Worth on a legal pad, and it was going to be like a Jim Jarmusch character that was obsessed with film. It was going to be a short film, and he goes off to Vegas and dresses up like a bellhop and tries to kidnap this movie star like lady that's in this movie, and he ends up getting a bullet in his head. There it is right there. We'll talk to him about voiceover. So he's showing me the iPhone 11. This is only C, which is what they use now. It would go in here. iPhone 11 needs a special one, so we're gonna look at it. He's gonna bring it over, and that's what it looks like. So that would be USB. This would be in here, USB here, and then go into phone.
Tell me we got it is the most popular adapter for sure.
So asking question about voiceover pretty soon. These are $20. You gotta have them if you have an iPhone 11. Basically it plugs in right here, it's USB. It goes right in there. That way you don't have to airdrop. You can airdrop, airdrop's fun, but airdrop doesn't do like 40 videos or 50 videos. It just goes in there. Then we have a question about this thing. I want to show you the credits here.
I just needed Wi-Fi to get convincing stock things. I do have it in stock.
Give me one little question. Okay, you do have it stock. All right, cool. Watch this. Is that not cool? And they do it for
you. Original recording. So if we go in,
it should have its own mic built in.
Connect to this guy.
Testing 1, 2, and 3. Testing. That's input right there. Testing 1, 2, and 3. I see. So it's like basically iPhone webcam. Cool.
You do new FaceTime.
All right. So this adapter is about $20.57. All right. Got the adapter. $20.57. They do send you a email when you make a purchase, and you can do tap pay if you want. But this will actually help you if you have an iPhone 11 and you just bought a new MacBook. You can just, goes right in the end, boom, plugs into the actual computer, which is in there, and you're good to go. He told me solve some problems with this. So what it'll do is it won't jam your AirDrop. If you've got like 50 videos going in at one time, you can use this and it'll go into the computer better if you have an iPhone 11. All right, so it's a little adapter, $20. Other problem, voiceover. So I'm probably gonna be looking at that. He said that I could call a number and they'd walk me through some stuff with voiceover. He doesn't know if it's a one button cure. Like press one button, you're cured on the voiceover. Don't know, but I can do a voiceover on my own, on my recorder, and I can just set it up through email, download it, put it into the application, and I'm good to go. As in when it comes to iMovie. I mentioned Final Draft on there, like looking at me really weird. Like, yeah, you ever heard of Paul Schrader? Anyway, we're gonna deal with it. And then I guess the other question, this solved 2 questions because I don't have to worry about AirDrop as much, and AirDrop can be sketchy at times. Sorry, I don't mean to be mean, but they'll work on it in a few years probably. Remember back in the day, you turn your car on with a little, and you have to go like this. Those days are over. Now, you just look at the camera. It's got all these diagnostics and stuff. This is the exact kind of nangling. It's in 3 colors, yellow, blue, and red. Thanks, Apple. I'll check out that voiceover problem. Give me the technician number. See Apple way over there. See them. Next to Starbucks. Yeah, you can kind of see them. Yeah. Anyway, there was this girl in there. She was a younger girl. So you can see. Oh boy, yeah. And I'm sitting there at the Genius bar. Well, I was in front of the Genius bar, another bar. She's looking at me like this. You are such a freaking nerd. I'm sitting there talking about all this like technical iMovie stuff, and well, the application here to hit the voice recorder, it'll start analyzing the voice here, and it shows, you know, the voice recognition here, and it's showing the different wavepoints over this point, blah blah blah, and then it goes into Move 1 and Move 2. We're always sitting there talking about all this stuff, and she's going, "You're such a nerd," because she didn't understand what I was talking about. Actually, to be honest, I didn't understand what I was talking about either. I was making it up as I went. But it does have a file that says MOV, which is short for movie. But anyway, regardless, she was like, you wouldn't know what an MP4 was anyway. All you got to do is send the MP4 up to your email and then download it. You can use a voice recorder or even your iPhone 11. You're such a nerd.